Welcome back to Coach's Corner East on this Wednesday, November 3rd. We are at the Galleon Pizza Hut and so glad to have you aboard on this Wednesday evening. It's the Crestline portion of tonight's show. We're brought to you in part by Lee Plymouth and Brad Seibert at the Plymouth Insurance Group, Galleon and Bucyrus, North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center, North Walnut Street, across from the courthouse in Bucyrus. Phil and Sue Schreck at Phil's Deli, just east of Pizza Hut at the Bridge in Galleon, as well as Steve Kurtzman and Associates at Innovative Recycling, 352 South Street, Galleon, Candy Bolin at Bolin Realty, 2 blocks west of the Uptown Galleon Square, and John Cross at Cross Carpet and Custom Floors, 302 North Seltzer Street in downtown Crestline. Joining me at the microphone tonight, it's Zoe Jenkins. You are the cheer coach at Crestline High School with some of your cheerleaders tonight. Thanks so much for stopping out. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And we talked before we went on your air. You hail from Ashland, Ohio.
Yeah.
You were an Ashland Arrow and an Ashland University Eagle. When you thought about your college choices, I have to ask, why did you want to stay in town there other than Ashland University is a great experience?
Ashland's a great school for education as well, makes really great educators, and I knew I wanted to be a teacher, so I knew I wanted to stay close to home and get ready to be an English teacher.
How young were you when you said, this is the profession I want to get into?
That's all I've ever wanted to do. When I was in high school, I knew for sure, but when I was a little girl, I played school, and I was ready to be a teacher.
Yeah, and English, what, over math or geography, why English?
I really struggled with reading when I was little, and in high school I didn't enjoy it very much, and then when I got to college I really found that I liked writing about what I read, and I wanted to be able to help other people find that same niche, that same passion. So.
And you are teaching at Crestline?
I am.
And what level of English?
I teach high school English, so I have the 10th, 11th, and 12th graders.
So you probably have these girls in class?
I don't have these girls yet, these are all freshmen, but I have most of the athletes that you get to talk to.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, very good. So they'll be in your class here on down the road. Very good. And is this your first year coaching at?
This is my second.
Second year, okay. And did you ask about it, or did they reach out to you and say, hey, would you be interested in doing this? They
reached out to me at the end of my first year teaching, so during COVID craziness, they were looking for a cheer coach for the following year, and I had danced in high school at Ashland and on the dance team at Ashland University, so it seemed like a great fit, and I was excited to be able to use that passion again.
Yeah, absolutely. What have you enjoyed most about it? At a small school, because it's different, small enrollment, small number of people going to games, things like that, but what have you enjoyed most about it?
I have a really unique opportunity with the group that I had last year, my first year and this year. So last year, some of the seniors I had actually went to Pioneer, and I didn't get to have them until then, so I got to meet some new students that otherwise I wouldn't have, and then this year, almost my whole team has been freshmen, so I don't have them in class yet. So just building that relationship before I get to have them in class has been really special.
How many are total on, let's say, the football squad, and then how many will be on basketball as well?
We had 9 for football season, and we actually had 1 middle schooler for football season because low enrollment, we didn't have enough for a middle school team. Right. But we have 10 high schoolers for basketball season. Okay, so that'll be split between JV and varsity, or they'll all do both of them? That'll be split between JV and varsity.
JV and varsity, okay, very good. Now, I know every cheer squad's a little bit different. Some are more into the competition and things like that, where others are just doing their normal thing. I mean, do you ask your girls to tumble, or is that not necessarily a part of it? Because you think about, especially basketball during a timeout, and you'll see these girls that are doing backflips from one baseline to the other. Is that what you ask of your members, or not necessarily? So it depends on whether they can or can't?
Right now it depends on ability. I have one girl that can tumble, one high schooler. I'd love for us to go the competition route eventually. That's where I came from. I did competitive dance in high school, and that was the style I did in college as well. So I would love for us to go competitive within the next couple of years, but that's where we're headed.
Do you spend a lot of time during the school year, either football or basketball season, practicing, or is it maybe just once a week or a couple times a week? How much is involved with that?
It's more intensive in the summer. We kind of follow the football and band schedule, so we have a more intensive camp at the beginning of August where we're learning our material for the season, and then throughout the school year we have practice once or twice a week.
Will you go to a cheer camp during the summer to learn new things or try things out? Or
I would like to either bring someone to our school this year for a camp or to go to a college campus or another high school for a camp.
Yeah, just a great experience that way.
It is.
So do you kind of coordinate like pep rallies and things like that too? That's all part of what you guys do?
Yes, I was a co-advisor for student council this year with another teacher, so that paired really nicely with cheer activities. So we did a pep rally for our homecoming weekend festivities, so the girls got to be a part of that.
Good, and Homecoming King was here a few times this
Yes.
year, and ironically his girlfriend is Homecoming Queen, and I asked him if it was fixed or not, and he said it had nothing to do with that.
It wasn't fixed.
You can verify
I
that.
can verify that.
Okay, very good. Do you offer then like a mini cheer on a certain football game or a certain basketball game where you'll bring maybe elementary girls to be able to do this as well in front of the crowd?
We are going to do that this winter with some of our elementary students, get some more interest
Yeah.
in the program and build our middle school program, hopefully.
Very good, very good. Take a break here before we talk to the young ladies. We're brought to you in part by Terry Gribble and Associates at your Gallion Community Center YMCA, Dr. Erica Schieber, Bucyrus Veterinary Service, 222 West Mary Street, Bucyrus, Rod Steiger and Associates at Pizza Hut here in Gallion and Bucyrus, our host of the show since 1992, and Lou Ann Krebs at River's Edge Embroidery, Screen Printing and Signs, sponsor of our foam board t-shirts. First up, we have Olivia Posey, and these are all freshmen here tonight. So, hi Olivia, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Great, you got your blue on with the bulldog stitched in there, and a freshman coming in, you were junior high last year, and you hit the bright lights of Friday night. What was that experience? I know the scores weren't what you wanted, you didn't win games like you wanted, but what was that overall experience like for you this year?
I think it was pretty fun. I mean,
Was it nerve-wracking? Did you get scared?
no, not really. I've been cheering for about 4 years now.
Have you?
So,
Okay, all right. What got you into it?
My friends, some of them were cheering, so they convinced me to join.
Does it bother you, because being in the Northwest Central Conference for football, now you're not going to experience that in basketball, a lot of long bus rides. You go over to Lima, Perry, you go to Waynesfield, Goshen, or I think that may have been home, but you were on different places, long bus rides. Are those annoying to you, or do you kind of like that experience?
I kind of like the experience of kind of traveling far away.
But during basketball, it's going to be a lot closer. Mansfield Christian, Central Christian, St. Pete, Lucas. Do you prefer being a little closer in teams that you're more familiar with?
Yeah, I like that too.
This is going to be your first year of basketball for varsity, right? Coming up. Do you think you're going to like basketball better or football better, and which one? Why?
I prefer basketball cheer because it's indoors and I don't have to
really.
deal with the weather.
Yeah. And speak about that crazy Hardin Northern game where you kept having lightning delays to start the game, then you got it shut down at half. What did you guys do during that time?
Well, they kept changing it, saying that we were going to go out and start, and then we didn't. So we kind of just stayed inside, and then we had a battle of the bands.
Played
Absolutely,
volleyball.
very good.
Played volleyball.
Okay, good. So my question to you tonight, is what is your favorite social media platform? Snapchat, that's the go-to for you. Okay, very good. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. I certainly appreciate that. Next up, Giovanna Sanders, Lilliauna Bayes, I appreciate, you are second, right? You are Lilliauna, correct? Last you checked, you were.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Lilliauna, thanks so much. I had the numbers here and I called out the wrong name. Again, freshman just coming into this. Overall, with the record aside, and let's face it, I talked to Coach King and the players, and they wanted to win. They did everything they could win. It just didn't happen. So that aside, talk about your experience as a varsity cheerleader as a freshman. What was it like at those football games this year?
It was exciting, watching the other team's score go up as ours stayed at 0. The box it was really funny to hear Trevor Shade's pass incomplete instead of 2 complete, so I'd say it was fun.
Was it harder because you're trying to get a crowd up that when things aren't going well, that to me, I would believe that your job would be harder.
Yeah, we didn't have as much pep whenever we were losing, but whenever there was a tackle or first down, one of the parents, they got the crowd going along with us.
And that helps an awful lot.
Yeah.
Basketball is going to be a different story because I think the Crestline Bulldogs are going to be pretty doggone good in basketball.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some stiff competition between these teams, Lucas especially. There should be some really good games. Do you like being indoors and out of the elements and warm and things like that better?
Yeah, it's scarier with the basketball players being so close.
Right,
though.
right. Yeah, you may get a ball come flying by you or a body fly. Yeah, right, for sure. Where do you think you need to improve? What area of your cheering ability do you think you have to improve the most on?
My face. I don't smile because I'm so focused.
Mm-hmm.
So I could probably smile a lot more.
Yeah, well, that's something to work on, and I'm sure Coach
Yeah.
will be reminding you to smile up every time, right?
Yeah.
Very good. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it.
Thank
and
you.
your question for tonight. Okay, let's see here. Your favorite movie that you could watch over and over again?
Radio.
Great. I love Radio. What a great movie, right? What a great movie.
Do you
That's
really know it?
Yeah, absolutely. About the football,
Yeah.
the manager that comes and helps them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an absolute great movie. I love Radio.
Oh my gosh, I've
Yeah.
never met anybody that actually watched it.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite lines is the end is, how much he loves football,
Yeah.
but there's more important things, and that's his family, and he's stepping down as the coach. And yeah, there's a lot of great quotes in that, a lot of great storylines in that. I
It's
love
a
that.
good movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. I'm happy to hear that. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. Next up, we have Giovanna Sanders, right?
LaVanna.
I'm sorry, I apologize. LaVanna.
It's okay.
It
Everyone
looked like
gets
a
it
J.
wrong.
Yeah, LaVanna Sanders. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And just like the rest of you, you've all been cheering how many years? How long have you been cheering?
I've been cheering 4 years.
4 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And were you nervous about kind of going up from junior high? Now you're the big time. You're cheering against squads that are seniors, even though you don't spend a lot of time with them. You meet and greet and things like that. Did it make you nervous or not so much?
Not really, because when we were in middle school, we had to cheer at some varsity games, so it really got me prepared for varsity.
Mm-hmm. And what are you looking forward to most as basketball season's right around the corner here in just about 3 weeks?
Staying inside and being warm. I don't like the outside sometimes.
Yeah, but you
especially
still
when
got to
it's
get
really
on the
cold.
cold bus on those road games, and hopefully they got it warmed up and things like
Yeah,
that.
they
But-
normally do.
Yeah, and it should be a good team and a lot of opportunity for wins, and that's going to make life more enjoyable for you as a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Who comes up? Do you kind of all discuss on what cheers you're going to do, or who kind of decides that?
We normally all decide on what cheers we're gonna do. Like, we'll look at each other and say, yeah, we'll do that one, or we'll just kind of decide on which.
Now, is this something you hope to do all 4 years of high school?
Yeah,
Yeah, and just have
yeah,
a great.
I like it.
Yeah, great. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming out. And all right, what I'm going to ask you, because I can tell by your personality, and this is kind of a loaded question. We're about 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
What is your go-to food on Thanksgiving Day?
Like dessert or like food?
Anything. What is your go-to where if it were missing, Thanksgiving would be a bust?
My mom's pumpkin pie or pumpkin roll.
Pumpkin roll.
Yes,
Okay,
it's
very good. Oddly enough, when Gallion was here and I asked that same question, and they said mashed potatoes, and usually mashed potatoes or rolls are always what the young girls always say. Pumpkin roll, good choice. Way to go. I hope you get it.
Yes.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Finally, Kaylee Saum is here. Hi, Kaylee. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. Thanks for coming out tonight. I appreciate it. And how close are you guys, not only as cheerleaders when you're in uniform, but when you're in class or just hanging out? Do you do a lot of things together, or are you kind of only on a team when you're in the sport?
I feel like we all do a lot of stuff together. We always hang out all the time and in class and whatnot.
Yeah, good. And I think that's important. That's part of that cohesiveness. That's part of that team. Basketball's coming up. We talked about that with the other girls. Are you more excited for that, or are you going to miss football?
I like basketball season a lot better.
Again, the warmth and the no rain and things like that. Yeah, but it's a longer season though. You're talking 10 games as compared to 22, 23 when you factor in the tournament. It's a longer season, and sometimes it takes up your entire weekend. You have a Friday night game and a Saturday night game. Does that bug you very much, or do you like that opportunity?
Well, it's kind of frustrating sometimes because I can't find time for myself, but I still enjoy it.
Good. Where do you want to improve from football season to now basketball season? What's the biggest improvement?
Probably like Lily said, like smiling more.
Okay. All right. Very good. That's fair. Favorite music genre? what if you're listening to a certain type of music to get you pumped up, what kind of music you listening to?
I don't know. Probably just pop.
Pop, okay, all right. You have a favorite artist?
No.
Okay, all right, very good. Well, thanks for coming, I appreciate it. You guys all did a great job. Take one more break here before we finish up with Coach. Show's brought to you in part by Don Barn Associates at the Galleon Building and Loan Bank, Matt Studer at Spitzer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Kia 1 mile east of the Richland Mall, and Mark Osborne and Associates at E-Crane International, serving worldwide markets from the Galleon Industrial Park. Coach, girls did a very nice job for the first time doing this. I can certainly tell you, Olivia, she was chomping at the bit to get on the microphone as quickly as she could. But no, actually, did a very, very great job. You should be very proud of them. And what's the biggest thing, other than weather and things like that, that you really want to see out of this group? Transitioning from first year as football cheerleaders to now in basketball. Where's the biggest jump that you want to see?
I'm excited for our girls to have more of a student section for basketball season. With such a small school, a lot of our student section that should be there for a football game is involved in the football game itself. So it takes a lot of people to put on a football game. We have our band and our majorettes and our flag team, and even some of the volleyball girls. We're water girls this year for football. So I'm excited for them to have more students involved in their game, and how they incorporate that into timeouts and get the fans involved more. I think we'll have more success.
Very good. Very good. Well, as I mentioned, I look forward to talking to Coach Sanders and the boys coming up here. I think they're going to have a really strong season. A lot of good things happening, and hopefully I'll make it over to a game, and I'll make sure those smiles are on the faces, just like you promised. And
we better be happy because we're inside and it's warm.
Yeah, right. Because if not, say, I remember when you were over at the Pizza Hut. You said, I want to be in the warmth, and I want to be outside in the rain and the snow and things like that. Well, thanks so much for giving up your time tonight. I certainly appreciate you coming over. You did a great job. Good luck to the Bulldogs this year. Have a great experience and enjoy it. And we certainly appreciate your time.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. Taking a look at the media programming coming up tomorrow night. The Ryan Day Show hits our airwaves at 6:05 as the Buckeyes go on the road to Lincoln, Nebraska this Saturday afternoon. Get ready to take on the Cornhuskers. That'll be tomorrow night, 6:05, the Ryan Day Show. Friday night, no football this week, but we will have Davy Jones in the Friday night phone board at 9 o'clock. He'll be taking calls on the area high school football playoffs and anything that's on your mind. Saturday, very busy day. We have Ohio State football again in Lincoln, Nebraska to take on the Cornhuskers of Nebraska. Coverage begins at 10:30, kickoff right around noon. In the evening, we'll have high school tournament football. It'll be Ashland Crestview hosting Colonel Crawford. That'll be on WQEL at 7 o'clock. Davy Jones will be back with phone board after that game at approximately 9 p.m. I want to thank everybody here at the Galleon Pizza Hut, especially our managers, Bree, Michelle, and Jordan. Sherry was our server tonight. Thank you so much, Sherry, for everything that you did. I want to thank Danny Lane back in the studio for keeping me on the air. Thank you to my camera operator, Cameron Moon, as well as Harper Boggs for all that she does each and every week. Thank you to Galleon cheer coach Michaela Hackett and her cheerleaders, Colonel Crawford football coach Ryan Teglovic and his players, and Crestline cheer coach Zoe Jenkins and her cheerleaders as well. Thank you to our sponsors, and most of all, you who have tuned in on Facebook Live. Certainly appreciate that. For WQEL Sports, this has been Mike Sparks reminding you, spirit with a vision is a dream with a mission. Have a good night, everybody.